familiar, Mr. Money Mustache is the FI guy. He's been interviewed by lots of major news publications. He has a whole following of people. And today I want to tell you why I don't think we need a Ms. Money Stache, and why I do think we need an alternative to mustachians, as the followers of Mr. Money Mustache are called. This might be a little controversial, so bear with me today. Listen to the whole episode and decide if you agree. Welcome to the FIFE Movement. I'm your host, Amanda Neely, and this is the only movement that helps our generation create our unique feminine and entrepreneurial path to financial independence. Now, you have to know that I'm totally a tomboy at heart. I grew up wearing baseball hats, blue jeans and t-shirts and sneakers, and playing the sports, doing some arts, but I even remember being mistaken for a boy a lot of the time. I've had super short haircuts. I kind of was raised by this dad who wanted a boy. And so in some ways I became that son that he kind of, I think, really wanted. But I thought that's what I should do, right? My dad raised me, so that could have been part of it too, is being around a man all the time. I didn't really know what it looked like to be a girl, right? I've got an older brother that I hung out with a lot too. So I just didn't have a lot of girlfriends, right? Or a sister or anything like that to teach me how to do my hair and my makeup and, stuff like that. And it really wasn't until my early 20s that I decided it was time to embrace my feminine side and to learn what it meant to be uniquely a woman and not try to just be a kind of a replica of a man, right? Because I came to believe that the ideal woman isn't a replica of a man. And the ideal woman has a unique story and a unique gift to share that only as a woman can she share. And I mentioned, Mr. Money Mustache, and this episode is kind of a play on his, what he calls himself as Ms. Money Stache, and kind of, do we need one? His real name is Peter Adeny. My apologies, Peter, if I mispronounced your last name. And he has a super compelling FI journey. And if you want to go and look up Mr. Money Mustache and see his story, it is super compelling, super awesome. The commitment he made, how he achieved his dream, it's really awesome. Way to go. He's inspired a lot of people. But I believe in the 2020s and beyond, we need to adapt. We need to continue to change the story to create our own unique narrative of what FI can look like and what FI looks like from a feminine perspective. He has this really great critique of the typical middle-class lifestyle. He calls it an exploding volcano of wastefulness. And he's kind of brought people to scale back, embrace minimalism, just have what they need, reduce their expenses by 50%, stuff like that. I think that's super good. I love that we have that foundation now that we can build on top of. But he also still has and the other 50% of your income that you're not, spending for your lifestyle, invest all of that in index funds or as much as possible, right? Get that into the market, get it growing as fast as you can. And that kind of puts the whole FIRE movement, the whole mustachians in the place where they're depending on an exploding volcano of profit from the companies that they're buying their stocks, right? They're investing in those companies. So those companies have to sell more and more. They have to increase their profits more and more in order for the stock market to continue to raise and for the people in the FIRE movement to continue making their passive income through their stocks and stuff. And that needs to happen no matter the expense to nature, to the environment, or to human dignity and the enslavement of people all around the world, so that a few people can get really rich. And that's where I think the feminine comes in, where we stereotypically, and part of what I embrace as the most feminine part of me is the putting others before ourselves, right? We'll do anything for our family. We'll even, the mom might be the last one to eat right after the kids have eaten. We will work so much to benefit others that we forget to take care of ourselves. At least that's true for me. That's a huge part of the feminine in me. And I need to learn, self-care is really important, that kind of thing. But what if, like, by thinking of others more, by seeing what kind of gift we can be to the world, rather than just how do we maximize shareholder profits, and stuff like that, what if that line of thinking creates an entirely different economy? An economy that's not dependent on a few big giants to make a bunch of money, that isn't dependent on money at all, maybe even, if you've listened to the last episode. What if the economy was more feminine? What would it look like? And it has way more to do than just putting others, in front of ourselves, or increasing how much we value other people. It does have that self-care part of it too. But I think you get where I'm going here, that we can't, in our right hand, reduce our expenses, and then our left hand expect the companies that we would have bought from to increase their profits while we're decreasing our expenses. That we have to find a way to live life sustainably and have an economy that's sustainable for us and for people all around the world. That we can have that ideal and try to achieve it. And that's really what I mean by a feminine approach. There's probably way more that will come about as we're going through developing this movement and asking more and more of what is a feminine view or a feminine approach to financial independence. I invite you, if you've got a perspective on that, I want to hear it. Again, this is probably the area where I'm the weakest, because it wasn't until my early 20s that I really started to embrace my feminine side. And so this is where I need to learn from the others that are part of this community. So this is also my invitation to you to join the community. Join us in creating this new feminine story of money. I think this change is already happening. We've seen it happening through, the impact sector and social enterprise and fair trade, right? Lots of really cool things that are happening, and we can align with that. And by aligning with it, we'll also further it to accelerate its coming to fruition in our world. So thank you so much for joining me, for connecting with this FIFE movement. As you go about your day today, I want you to remember wealth is coming your way. Your quest is to prepare for using it well. For more tips on how to prepare, be sure to subscribe. To connect with this community, visit fifemovement.com. And if this episode, this gift, my gift to you, has helped you, please pay that gift forward by sharing this content with a friend. My gratitude in advance. To help this video be seen by more people, please hit the like button, and we invite your feedback in the comments too.